Welcome to the Don Lemon Show. Thanks for watching. And support for the show comes from ZBiotics. I've got to tell you about this game-changing little drink that I use before a night out. It's called pre-alcohol. It is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. Now, here's how the thing works, okay? When you drink, your body turns alcohol into this toxic byproduct that makes you feel awful the next morning, okay? It is not dehydration. It is that byproduct that alcohol creates in your gut. ZBiotics pre-alcohol actually helps break that down so that you can wake up feeling fresh. I first tried it before a dinner party with friends. Had a glass of wine, maybe two. The next morning, I still felt great. I was ready to come and do the show and no problems at all. Now I don't go without it. So make the most of every toast and every tailgate this season, every holiday party for whatever it is that you're doing, right? And you may have a couple sips. Go to zbiotics.com/lemon. Use the code LEMON for 15% off of your first order. They'll even refund you if you're not happy. No questions asked. That's zbiotics.com/lemon and use the code LEMON for 15% off of your first order. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hot Topics, 10 a.m. Eastern time, or as you guys always say, 10 a.m.-ish Eastern time. Glad that you're here. I know it's a very big day. This is election day. People are going to the polls. They're voting all over the place, including Virginia, which is a big race, New Jersey, big race, New York, Mamdani versus Cuomo. You guys saw the political ads. And then in California, there's a big proposition there to try to correct what Republicans are doing as it relates to the electoral map and gerrymandering. We have some great guests with us this morning. Jim Acosta is here. He's the host of the Jim Acosta Show on YouTube and Substack, veteran journalist as well. And Antoine Seawright here. Antoine is a political, what do you want to call him? Expert, analyst, strategist, is the founder and CEO of Blueprint Strategy, LLC. And then we'll have some others joining us this morning. So, Mike Nellis is also here. Mike Nellis is a Democratic strategist and the former senior advisor to Vice President Kamala Harris. Wow. Welcome, gents. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, everybody.
How are you?
Let's bring in Clay Kane as well. We may as well bring in Clay Kane. Clay Kane is a New York Times bestselling author and the host of the Sirius XM Urban View. So, Clay, welcome. Wow. You look, I mean, we tried to get some ladies here, but it's just like a sausage fest this morning.
Broing out this morning.
You're muted, Clay, by the way. So anyways, guys, what do you think is the most important here? Let me start with the veteran journalist here. Jim Acosta. Jim, what do you think is the most important, or are they all equally as important?
I mean, maybe in the grand scheme of things, California might be the most important. Prop 50. I mean, it looks like it's going to pass. Donald Trump is trying to rig the midterms by, redistricting all these congressional maps in these various states. And if California can, match what the Republicans are doing, that's important. Virginia's trying to do the same thing. But besides that, I mean, I think I'm watching New Jersey. I think that's the race.
Somebody has their volume up.
It's like talk radio when there's somebody, first-time caller kind of thing.
Turn down your radio, ma'am.
Turn down the radio. No, but I think New Jersey is maybe the closest race, and so if Mikey Sherrill can have a healthy margin there, that says to me that there's a bit of a voter revolt that's taking place in the country right now. And I think that what's happening in New York is important. I think Mamdani is an important bellwether for the Democratic Party. It shows that there's massive energy in the progressive base of the Democratic Party. And it's probably going to be a factor and a game changer going into the midterms. And I'll stop talking so there's no more echo. But I think Mamdani echoes, if that makes any sense, if that's a good segue. I think it's important what's happening in New York City right now. And the fact that, the Trumps and the Cuomos are teaming up, that ain't good, folks. Isn't that one of the signs of the apocalypse?
How amazing. I mean, Jim, think about it. When we worked back in the days when we worked with CNN during.
I'm just saying.
We'd be like, that is never going to happen. You're kidding me. None of it's ever going to happen. And look where we are right now.
I know. But the New Yorkers are not having it. And the progressive base of the Democratic Party, because of ICE, because of the National Guard, because of Trump's corruption, knocking down the East Wing of the White House, all his bullshit, is, I mean, progressives are hopping mad, pissed off right now, and it's manifesting itself in Mamdani. People, when I talk to New Yorkers, they're not so much focused on the social democratic socialist thing as they just like that it's a fresh face from the progressive base, and they want to take it to Trump.
Yeah. What do you have to say about this, Mike Nellis, since you're the advisor to Kamala Harris and Democratic strategy? Do you agree with Jim?
Yeah, I do. The only thing I disagree with Jim on is I don't think it's just progressive voters that are pissed off. I think basically every American is pissed off right now, and you're going to see that in these elections, right? Like people are gravitating to Mamdani, not necessarily because of his policies, although that's an important part of it. But anytime people gravitate to something that's outside the mainstream, it's because the system isn't working for them. It's the same reason that Donald Trump got elected last year and then 10 years ago, or however long it was, is the establishments, both political parties, are wildly out of touch with what's going on with day-to-day lives of most Americans. Cuomo is, in my opinion, one of the worst candidates I've ever seen in this last election. I think he's just run an absolutely terrible campaign, offered absolutely nothing to the people in New York. So of course they're going to gravitate to a young, charismatic guy with some fresh ideas who seems like he gives a shit about them. And I think you're seeing that in the other races too. Winston Sears has run a terrible campaign in Virginia. Donald Trump hasn't even campaigned or endorsed her, I don't think. That's how bad it is. So Abigail Spanberger is going to do well. She's focused on affordability. Mikey Sherrill, I think, is also going to do well today. And, I think the bellwether for New Jersey is if Mikey Sherrill wins by 4 or 5 points, that's about what's expected. If it's less than that, it looks good for the Republicans. But I think there's a decent chance the undecided votes pull heavily for the Democrats in the end, and she might win by 8 to 12. And that's a very bad sign for the Republicans in the midterms.
Antoine Seawright, everyone is using, and as an example, both people have used, I think that Mike mentioned, did you mention Mamdani? Oh yeah, you said, of course, they're going to go for a young person with bright ideas, using him sort of as the template to possibly move forward for Democrats. What do you say this morning?
Well, I said a couple of things. To your original question, I think every election all across the country is so important. As I understand it, there are over 100,000 races across the ballot, 21 across the country, 21,000 school board races, of course, statewide races and assembly races in Virginia, New Jersey that are going to be consequential, Prop 50 in California, and then you have court races in Pennsylvania, not to mention more African-American mayors, as I understand it, on the ballot this cycle than perhaps any other cycle. So all these races are important. They're important for a number of reasons for the Democratic Party. One, they give us an opportunity to really test our post-2024 election election progression, if you will. Two, it's the first time that we will see Donald Trump not being on the ballot. And so whether MAGA'nomics, Trumpism, and all the things that have galvanized the modern-day Republican Party, whether they stand without Donald Trump being on the ballot. But third, most importantly, it gives us a chance to really see where independent thinkers and independent voters are. They were very decisive in the 2024 election, so we're going to see that. And then the traditional versus non-traditional Republicans, the MAGA movement versus traditional Republicans, we'll see if they come back out and what that means for their movement. Now, as it relates to the New York race, respectfully, I am happy that folks are energized and galvanized around New York, but I've never in my political lifetime seen the mayor of New York or whoever becomes the mayor of New York seen as the national figure for any party, for that matter, Democrat or Republican Party. So I think we have to take these races one race at a time. But two, I'm thankful that the message of affordability has transcended New York to New Jersey, to Virginia, to all across the country. And that's bread and butter issues, what we should be talking about as Democrats.
Antoine, you're in Virginia. Mike, aren't you in Virginia as well? Are you in Virginia?
I'm in New York.
You're in New York. You live in New York. I thought for some reason.
No, I live in Chicago, but I'm here today because I'm doing
that's it. Yeah,
tonight.
Got it. And you're in Virginia, right? Antoine, I didn't hear. Are you in Virginia?
No, I'm in South Carolina. But Don, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I'm monitoring Virginia. Can I say one thing? One thing we should all look for across the board tonight is candidate quality. That's going to matter. It's going to matter in Virginia. It's going to matter in New Jersey. Certainly, issue quality is going to matter in California. That's a big eye-opening thing. And I think that is how we measure what the future of the Democratic Party looks like, our ability to recruit candidates who can win anywhere and talk to anyone.
Yeah. Jim, you are where?
I'm in D.C.
You're in D.C. So you're in the Virginia area. You're getting all the ads. That's what I was wondering. That's what I wanted to ask you. You're there getting all the ads because I know Clay is in Jersey. But Clay, you also pay taxes in New York. So you're seeing all of it. How are you feeling this morning and what's important for you?
All eyes are on New Jersey. It really is about New Jersey at this moment. It appears Mamdani might win, but I agree with Antoine. You never know in New York. New York is an interesting place. You never know.
Hey, Clay, since you said that, no, I'm gonna let you finish, Clay King. But since you said that, I found there's a lot of secret Cuomo voters.
Oh yeah,
it's
and
kind of
there's
weird,
a lot
right?
of secret Jack Ciattarelli voters as well.
Ah,
don't get it. This is interesting. So, but it appears
we had a lot of secret Trump voters, right?
There you go. And polling is famously terrible in New York City. Famously terrible in New York. I think we all know that from the primary and even when Adams won. But it appears that he has it. Virginia, Winsome Earl Sears is the Mark Robinson, Herschel Walker of this election. It just goes to show you those Black Republicans, they only let you elevate, but so much. Here in Jersey, I'm concerned. Talk about candidate quality. I voted for Mikey Sherrill, but she hasn't run a very good campaign. She's struggling really bad with Black voters. I said it on my show. I tried to canvass for her last week. They had nowhere in my area to canvass. I see no signs in my area. I live in a predominantly Black and brown area. So I'm really concerned. And, we had Obama and Westmore down here. Governor Phil Murphy, the current governor, only won by 3 points. So I hope she can pull this off. But there's that. There's also the one and only time we elected a woman governor was a Republican. And Kamala Harris won Jersey by about 5 points. Biden won by 14 points. So a lot of stuff there. So this will be a tight race. I think it'll be a lot tighter than we really can imagine. And if we pull off Jersey, I think it's a clear sign that this is a pushback on Trumpism. Jersey's being hit hard by this government shutdown. Let's not forget how Donald Trump destroyed Atlantic City, New Jersey, where I was born. And if she can't pull this off, then where does this leave us? And everybody's has seen the light and government shutdown, Epstein files. I mean, Jack Ciattarelli is MAGA to the core. And I'm really concerned. I will be drinking tonight.
Don't forget your Z-Biotics pre-alcohol.
Exactly.
So but who is it at this point, though? My question is, who's running a bad campaign? Right? You can't run a bad campaign, Andrew Cuomo. Like Democrats or whoever it is, you don't have time to run bad campaigns anymore. We're not in a moment where people have the luxury of running bad campaigns. And you said Mikey Sherrill is running a bad campaign. Why aren't there lots of Black and brown voters in New Jersey? Why aren't there signs out there? Why aren't there canvassers out there? Why aren't there identified areas?
I went to the campaign office in my area. I said, there's not one sign in my area. I'm going to say this respectfully. Again, from my soul, I want her to win. I believe what she's trying to do, like other Democrats have tried to do, is try to appeal to the anti-Trump Republican voter.
No, that didn't work.
See how that worked in 2024. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what she's trying to do. You may think certain demographics are in the bag. And listen, I hope she wins. And Jack Ciattarelli is so terrible and has had so many terrible moments. On his best day, he's better than Mikey Sherrill on her worst day. But there is sexism. There is the cult of Trump. The Republican base is activated. And I'm concerned, and I agree with you. You should be able to hit all the bases and not just have Obama and Westmore come down at the final week.
Who's doing the analysis there? Go ahead, Antoine. Who's doing the analysis and where's the polling?
Clay, I'll say this to some of your points. Number one, I think that Mikey was never a style type of candidate, even when she ran for Congress. She was more of a substance. You're talking about a national security mom. And so I think what people are looking for is the Assemblyman Mamdani types in every single candidate and think that is what's going to be the new wave of the Democratic Party. There's going to be some candidates in our party now and in the future who are going to be rooted in substance, and that should be okay. Now, that does not dismiss the fact that she should not take the most consequential voting bloc in the history of this country for granted in Black voters. But on the other side of that, she also has to make certain that she wins over independent thinkers and non-traditional voters because New Jersey was so close in its past statewide election. So I think there's a number of things that we can learn from this election as we go forward. And that's what I hope that we learn from every single election, but in particular this off-year election, because this is a warm-up for future elections. The last point I'll make, Don, is that what we're going to see a real test of tonight when the results are in is whether or not we can run high-tech and high-touch campaigns in a post-Donald Trump being on the ballot environment. And that has not been tested before. We tried to run high-tech. That didn't work. We tried to do high-touch. That didn't work. Now we have to figure out if we can do both of those things and be successful without Donald Trump's name being on the ballot.
But okay, may I just add really quick? I hear you, Antoine, but I got to say, sometimes I don't feel like Democrats learn from the previous election.
Oh, I agree.
Use the language learn. And I don't feel like they get it. Did they do a proper autopsy? Did you look at the data? These are some of the black and brown counties in New Jersey, Essex County, Hudson County. You saw Passaic County. You saw low voter turnout in those areas. How are you going to incentivize those areas? Losing Jersey by 5 points during a presidential election is egregious, right? And for a variety of reasons. I'm not saying it's all Kamala Harris's fault or anything like that. But for her, I'm not asking for someone to be Mandani or to be Obama. But God damn it, can I get a sign in my neighborhood? Can I get a something? Can I see you there?
Well, that's high touch. That's high touch.
Yeah.
Can I jump in there for a second? Because I think one thing that was said earlier that I wanted to echo and underline real quick is Democrats fall too often in the trap of just being anti-Trump, right? All the time, over and over and over again, and forget to articulate an actual vision for what they want to do to help people. You got to give people something to vote for, not necessarily just something to vote against. Don't get me wrong. You can frame your opponent, in all the ways that you want to. But I think Democrats forget that. I think we forgot that in the last election. Part of the reason Zoran is doing so well is because he's got a clear, joyful, articulated message that people can get behind. Whether or not you agree with all the policy positions is sort of irrelevant to that. It's the first politician we've seen in a while, I think, on a stage that's gotten this much attention, that's articulated a vision. I don't know how much of it can get done, but you see a lot of Democrats being unable to do that. But the best candidates right now that are running in the 2026 midterm elections are the ones who are articulating that vision, and that's why they're getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, and I will say in Virginia, Don, one of the reasons why Spanberger is doing so well, she is running a very effective campaign. She, has these ads that are playing right now, and I don't know if you guys have seen the ads, if you've been in the DC area and seen these ads, but they are just tearing Winsome Earl Sears to shreds. She's the Republican nominee for the governor's race, and she's a bad candidate. But this ad right here, I am speaking, that has been playing on a loop in the Washington, D.C. area.
Can we play it? Is this a whole ad? Do we have the whole ad, guys?
If you have it, you should play it. It's devastating. It's one of the best ads I've seen in a long time.
Jim, we'll let you finish up.
Yeah.
Said that she
MAGA Republican Winsome Earl Sears. And what she says about discrimination is extreme.
The Republican candidate for governor hand-wrote a note on a bill that passed the General Assembly implying she's morally opposed to same-sex marriage.
My opponent has previously said that she does not think that gay couples should be allowed to marry. She has said that
discrimination.
My opponent has also previously said that she thinks it's okay for someone to be fired from their job for being gay. That's discrimination.
Yes, Lieutenant Governor, it is. And what you said about rights couldn't be more wrong. Winsome Earl Sears, so far right, she's wrong for Virginia.
Okay, this is a say what?
I want a house remix of "Am I Speaking?"
I'm speaking.
Is there I feel like there should be a TikTok remix like they had.
We do. We have one.
It's got to be out there.
Oh, is it?
We got one. Do we have it, Andy? If we have it from yesterday, let us know when you have it.
The costumes, the people in costumes.
The people in the costumes doing her.
Okay.
I saw Winsome Earl Sears' costume at a Halloween party this past weekend in DC. I mean, it's
no, the one from Virginia.
I am speaking. I am speaking. I am speaking. I am speaking.
I am speaking.
It's so good.
Look, this is my favorite.
She is speaking.
That was good. Thank you, Andy.
I can tell that's
so
like
Jim,
DCA area because that's the only place where people would dress up as political candidates like that.
It's so true.
But Jim, and I want all you guys to weigh in on this. Where do you get into the, and don't forget your thought. I'm sorry, Jim, I cut you off because I wanted to play that. But how do you get into a mindset that saying that American citizens, whether they're same-sex marriage or whatever it is, that they shouldn't have the same rights under the U.S. Constitution, and that's not discrimination? I don't think that of that as a right or a left thing. That's just logic. I mean, that just seems like common sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, and the country has moved on this issue. I mean, we're not going to reverse that unless we just slide into authoritarianism full blow. And I just, I think what's happening right now and the other thing about those ads, we should note, they have a whole series of these ads. So when they do that, I am speaking, and then they'll say what she's saying on abortion is wrong, what she's saying on gay rights is wrong. And it's just been brilliant the way they've run this entire campaign on TV in the DC area, which is a great way to run a campaign for governor in Virginia, because the DC TV market is so dominant as far as the rest of the state. But I mean, the thing about Winsome Earl Sears is, the Republicans, I think, just sort of thought we're not going to win. Virginia is typically one of these elections where whoever is not in power tends to win the governor's race in Virginia. And I think Republicans just said, we're just not going to compete. And they put up Winsome Earl Sears, who doesn't even have Trump's endorsement. I guess back in 22 or 23, she said, it's time for us to move on from Trump. And Trump has not let that go by. He has refused to endorse her this entire time. And he's really, sort of bear hug Jack Ciattarelli, which is, I think, what is helping him stay in that race up in New Jersey. And so it goes back to what you guys were saying earlier, candidates matter. And I think the national security mom thing matters. I think in Virginia, New Jersey, what the party tried to do was say, okay, maybe Kamala Harris was a little too far to the left. People can disagree with that idea, but the general sense was maybe she was a little too far left in some of these states where you have to compete on a sort of moderate playing field. And they said in New Jersey and Virginia, we've got to have a candidate who appeals to that segment of the party. But what Mike was saying at the top of this was extremely important about issues. And right now, I mean, Trump is under 40% in a whole slew of polls. He was lying on 60 Minutes the other night about grocery prices. He was saying grocery prices are coming down. He was lying through his teeth there.
Oh my God, Jim, that drove me crazy. I
The
was
food
just like,
stamp
jump
thing.
in, Nora.
I know. The food stamp thing is nuts. And Obamacare premium is about to take off. So the stuff that the Republicans are dealing with right now, which is like a barf bag for the voters, that barf bag is going to turn into a hefty bag next year if all of this shit goes down on all of these affordability issues. They're just screwing themselves for Trump right now.
Antoine, I know that you have a time issue, but I want to get something from you before you have to bolt, and let us know when you have to go. You're on the Hill. You're very tuned in. You're very wired into what's going on there. You have lots of great contacts. So can you take us behind the scenes? And what are Democrats? What's leadership looking at? Around the country today as we watch these races.
Looking for a win. I think the people on the edge of their seat looking for Democrats to put some points on the board. While we've done well in all these special elections since Donald Trump has taken office, that has somehow gotten lost in the fold. People are looking for big screen points on the board tonight, and so we need a win. We need a big, resounding win in California to send a vibrating message across the country when it comes to the exterminating of Black political power and congressional seats. We need a strong win in Virginia and New Jersey, up and down the ballot, not just the gubernatorial race, but we also need to put up points on the board in Pennsylvania, which is going to be a critical state in the midterms with those statewide court seats that are on the ballot. And then we have to win some of these deep down ballot races at the municipal level and the mayoral level because they're going to matter. And in some places, and we don't talk about these things enough as Democrats, but Republicans do a good job of leaning in, it's these issues that are on the ballot that drive out a different set of turnout way down the ballot. That these are people who are not normally tuned in to elections, but this is a chance for us to tune into them. I think that's important. But Don, before I go, I want to make one point of how I would probably capture tonight's elections. It's about security, national security, health security, financial security, you name it, whatever label you want to put in front of security. I think that is going to be the message of tonight. And if Democrats can convince enough Americans that we own the security lane, I think we have a nice runway going into 2026 ahead of a very consequential midterm.
How much longer before you go are Democrats willing to hold out on, on the CR and the government shutdown?
Until we get what we've asked for and what 78% of the American people want. And they want those ACA subsidies extended because 18.2 million Americans in Donald Trump won states enjoy those subsidies. 76% of those who enjoy those subsidies are in places that Donald Trump won. And so this is not a right versus left, us versus them. This is an American issue. And I think Republicans are now feeling the pressure from the shutdown. They're going to have to move.
Thank you, Antoine.
Thank you.
We'll see you. Mike Nellis, you're up next. First, a word from our sponsors. Support for the show comes from Fatty 15. Now listen, go with me, all right? Let's talk about healthy aging for a second. I've hit that stage where sleep, energy, and recovery matter a lot more than they used to. And I want to feel as good on the inside as I try to look on the outside. And that's why I started taking Fatty 15. It's the first new essential fatty acid discovered in over 90 years. It is called C15, and it helps strengthen your cells, improve sleep, energy, focus, all the things that keep us feeling younger longer. So I've been using it now for a couple of weeks, and I noticed deeper sleep, better focus during my show days, and it comes in a beautiful reusable jar, okay? No fishy aftertaste, totally vegan. It's kind of like fish oil, better, except you don't get that aftertaste. Go to fatty15.com/lemon and use the code LEMON for 15% off of your first 90-day starter kit. Feel stronger from the inside. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, these shorter, darker days can really mess with your mood. Now, I make it a point to check in on friends, and sometimes that means checking in on myself too. Therapy is one of the best ways to do that. BetterHelp makes it easy. You just fill out a short questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and if it's not a fit, you can switch at any time. All online, all from home. So taking that first step can feel awkward, but it's always worth it. You don't have to go through the hard stuff alone. Get 10% off of your first month at betterhelp.com/DonLemon. That's betterhelp.com/DonLemon. Thanks to our sponsors. Let me tell you, this is hilarious, right? And all the truth. This is like a whole sponsorship thing for me. So last night I went out there was a friend's party that I did my Z-Biotics. It was good. Took my Fatty 15 before I went to bed. I had the best night's sleep that I've had in months. I mean, I was surprised. I woke up at 3:20 to go to the bathroom because, I'm a man of a certain age. I was like, wow, have I been sleeping I thought it was time to wake up. And then I had all this extra sleep left. And then I have a therapy session today at 3:00. So, it's all the way around. Anybody else have therapy on this panel? The last couple of years have really been hard.
Not today, but consistently.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. Does this count as therapy, Tom?
Yeah. So I said you're up next. What is it going to take for people not to have, a breakdown with their therapist tomorrow morning?
Yeah, right. Well, I think some big Democratic victories would be helpful, but I want to circle back to something that Jim said a few moments ago, which is about Trump being underwater. He's underwater on every major issue. So like a lot's being written about the fact that he's negative 30% on inflation, negative 20% on the economy, and people are really pissed about that. But he's underwater on immigration, he's underwater on crime, he's underwater on basically everything. And so I think you're going to find that for Democrats in the midterms, there's going to be 3 buckets of issues that they can talk about, which is going to be the economy. It's going to be security and keeping people safe, how these ICE raids have gone too far, how the Republican budget cuts billions of dollars in community policing, which means fewer cops will be on the streets. And I think the 3rd bucket is going to be about corruption. Jim mentioned all the ridiculous things that Donald Trump said in that CBS interview Sunday night. What he didn't mention was Donald Trump admitting that he has no idea who he's pardoning. And then he only pardoned a crypto guy who pled guilty of fraud because his kids asked him to.
Was that crazy?
They're nuts. I think it should be the biggest story in America today. It's unbelievable.
I'm shocked it's not the biggest story. And I'm waiting for, people to write books about him and autopin and cognitive decline. And but I have seen
we should write one.
Yeah, where's Jake Tapper when you need him?
Oh my gosh. Jim, we should do a co-author a book called Cognitive Decline.
Is it about ours or theirs or his?
Well, it's both. It's all of the above. I'm going to put something up and you guys tell me, because I've heard this, I think from there was a candidate or a lawmaker in Virginia who said something like this, who said, that the left was political violence and whatever. And I haven't seen one person, one Democrat who cheered Charlie Kirk's death. I have not seen, I've seen people denouncing it, but I've seen people having a certain opinion about how they feel about him. Is this playing at all in this election? Is this going to have any traction, or can it affect the vote either way?
No,
I don't think so. I don't think it will. I mean, we all know when Paul Pelosi was attacked, Democrats came out and said that it was horrible versus the JD Vance and others, mocking it. I mean, sometimes Republicans take babbling on social media and attach that to a Democrat. There's no Democrat elected official that was celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I do want to about Winsome Sears. I want to say this quickly.
I am speaking.
What's interesting about her, and this shocked me, according to today.ugov.com, I've rarely ever seen this for a governor's race. She is losing the white vote. That is shocking to see a Democrat getting a majority of the white vote in the governor's race. That's really unusual. And what's funny, that I Am Speaking clip that you played, after that, she starts screaming, "I'm a black immigrant. I'm a black immigrant woman." I said, wait a minute, is this DEI? I thought this must be a little bit of DEI. Winsome, why are you letting us know that you're a black immigrant? I thought it doesn't matter. I thought these identities don't matter. So what I'm thinking is that base doesn't want to hear about that, right? That you can only tap dance, but so much. They only want you to elevate, but so much. So she's not doing great with the white vote. She's losing it by 5 points. That's really unusual for a Republican.
Yeah, Jim, before you hop in here, let me play. This is Winsome Sears, complaining about Barack Obama.
And this is the president. But remember, Obama was supposed to be the president of hope and change. Whatever happened to all that? Where is the hope, Mr. President? Where is the change, President Obama? Of course, we know it's all hypocrisy. And then, of course, last year, this time, he told everybody to vote for the black woman. Well, Charlie, here I am. Right. Here I am. And now he's singing a different tune. Hypocrisy all the way. But the Virginia voters are seeing through that because we are for common sense. And my opponent, Abigail Spanberger, is for nonsense.
Now, if it had been me, I'd say, what are you saying? Black women are interchangeable? Like,
right. Even the Fox anchor there, you can tell hates her. You could just see.
She really thought she nailed that final line. She was so proud of herself.
But the other thing, Don, that they're trying to do, what she's trying to do, she's trying to pull, what they did 4 years ago with Glenn Youngkin. They're running bathroom ad after bathroom ad in Virginia. They're trying to scare voters into going to the polls. They're trying to scare Republicans into showing up to the polls for Winsome Earl Sears on the bathroom ads. And saying that your daughter is going to be in a locker room with a boy and all this stuff. And I sort of think that the voters have OD'd on this, and we'll see what the vote totals look like in Virginia, but they are trying to play that Glenn Youngkin playbook again with voters down there. And it's just not working. As Clay was saying, Winsome Earl Sears is going to end up being, I think it could be a historically awful election for Virginia Republicans. And keep in mind, the Virginia Democrats right now are going to attempt to do some redistricting next year. So that's something that is, these delegate races in Virginia are going to be very important. The state Senate races in Virginia are going to be very important because next year they're going to try to do this. They're going to try to get this through to try to keep up with what Trump is doing in Missouri and Texas and all these other places. So that, having Winsome Earl Sears there is just a disaster for the Republicans in Virginia.
Can I add something on the trans stuff? Because we see this play out in these elections all year. The Omaha mayoral race, the longest serving Republican mayor of the country lost after spending hundreds of thousands of dollars sending mail pieces everywhere about her opponents supporting trans bathroom bills and stuff like that. It didn't work. I think what they misunderstand in the last election with the they-them ad for Kamala Harris, people don't remember, it was an ad about Kamala Harris talking about transgender surgery for inmates, and it ended with Kamala Harris is for they-them, not us. And I think Republicans don't understand that the reason that ad was so effective was because they were othering Kamala Harris and reinforcing the narrative that Democrats are for anyone other than you.
And by the way, that whole transgender policy was a Trump era policy.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But what Republicans don't get in their messaging on trans rights now is that they want to be able to say that we're not fighting for them, we're fighting for other people. And it's not so much about anti-trans or scaring people off. It's reinforcing the narrative about Democrats. And they just completely have lost that this year in every race that they've done it.
Can we talk about New York, guys, right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this morning, I found it very interesting. Andrew Cuomo showed up on Fox and Friends. Well, we don't have the whole thing. I wish I could play it because he was asked about the nursing home deaths and all kinds of things. But here he is on Fox and Friends this morning.
The three-way race. It's myself, the Democratic Socialist, Mamdani, and there's a Republican named Curtis Lewa. And Curtis Lee was a spoiler. There was no chance he can win, but he can make Mamdani a winner. So President Trump saying to the Republicans, don't vote for Sliwa, you're wasting your vote. That could be very helpful because if they don't vote for Sliwa, they would vote for me.
Go ahead. You're in New York, Clay. New York area, metropolitan area.
I just interviewed Mamdani last week. You know, there's a possibility here. There's a slight possibility that Curtis Sliwa might get more votes than Cuomo.
Woo!
That's a slight possibility. From what I'm hearing on the ground, Cuomo is so despised right now. He is a loser. And Don, we were talking months ago about this. I knew he would go down this route. He's going down the otherism, hatred, racism route. And I just don't think it's selling right now in New York City. I don't think it's working. He's relying on some dated Southern strategy 2.0 bullshit. And I just do not think it's resonating at all. Now, if Mamdani had a different kind of candidate, this might be different. But he is so despised. He has been a disaster. The whole comment about diversity is a weakness. What do you mean by that? Should folks look more like you? Then he won't have this weakness? I don't think it's been a long time since I've seen somebody bomb like this. He is a dynasty in New York, the Cuomo dynasty. He's a political legend, and he is just ruining it. And I would not be surprised if he comes in third. I would not be surprised by that at all. And listen, here's the thing. In Virginia, you got unhinged Winsome Earl Sears. In New York, you got Cuomo and Curtis and his cats. They ain't going to win, right? But with Jersey, you're up against one guy who's been running for governor. This is his third time in a row. This is establishment MAGA in a way. So all these races are very, very different dynamics. But I think Mamdani may have this in the bag. But you never know. I've seen races and win elections many, many a times.
Okay, one more. This is him on COVID.
Worst. Nobody knew what we were dealing with. I had the best health experts from around the globe giving us advice. We followed the best advice. We followed the federal guidance. And people died in a horrific way. There were no visitors allowed into nursing homes. And I apologize for any family that lost a loved one during that time. It was on my watch. And I understand how terrible it was.
Yeah, we really were first and worst. I remember calling my family down in South Carolina saying, Mom and Dad, do not go to that party. You don't understand what's happening here. Y'all need to stay away from your friends right now and stay at home. People are losing their loved ones. My doorman, many of them lost like their dad, their mom. It was really sad. Janice Dean lost both of her in-laws because of the nursing home situation. It was a really hard time for New York, and we were the first. What do you say to the people who can't afford to pay their bills here in New York, Governor? Because we know how Mamdani feels about the billionaires, about our police officers, about the Jewish community. Many of them are voting for you because of what he said about Israel. But what do you say when people are going to go vote for him today because free grocery stores, free buses, rent stabilized, corporate taxes?
Wow. Okay. But it was the interesting thing is that because I was flipping through, I'm like, oh, I wonder if the candidates are going to be on this morning. And certainly they were on. And Cuomo was on, and the guy asked him and said, can you apologize to the people who died in the nursing homes? Why should a Republican vote for you? Something I'm paraphrasing after that. It was a tough moment. He didn't answer it at first, and then he eventually ended up with that answer. Yeah. What do you guys think of that? Since tough for him.
Yeah, I mean, Don, if what was interesting about that clip is the way Fox News was sucking up to Andrew Cuomo. I mean, think about the way Fox savaged Andrew Cuomo during COVID and briefly after COVID. and was part of the cavalcade trying to chase him out of the governor's mansion. So, I mean, Fox has gotten their talking points. They want to prop up Andrew Cuomo and figure out some way to help Trump, because this drives Trump crazy that Mamdani is going to get elected mayor. And I think that folks in New York have just had enough of this. And Donald Trump coming out and trying to help, and Fox News coming out and trying to help Andrew Cuomo is like the worst possible scenario for him, politically speaking. I mean, that is.
Mamdani capitalized on it. I think he posted something on it and made fun of it, and it got hundreds of thousands of likes and probably 1 million, engagement. Crazy.
Mamdani should just run those clips as ads. I mean, he doesn't need to. He's going to win. I think he's going to win by a lot. But the other thing, I think the overarching issue for the Democrats heading into the midterms is, can they be a big tent party, and can they tolerate one another? I think one of the big problems that the Democratic Party had with Mamdani in New York is you had some major figures in the leadership who just refused to get on board with Mamdani after he won. I mean, he won, and became the Democratic candidate. And you had Hakeem Jeffries sort of dragging his feet. You had Chuck Schumer not really getting on board. And, this cuts both ways. If you want progressives to support people like Mikey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger, I mean, the Democrats have to learn how to be a big tent party going into these midterms, or it's just going to be a mess. And it's going to give Trump and the Republicans an opening, I think, in these midterm races coming up.
Yeah. Clay, you were talking about the type of campaign. I want all of you guys to weigh in on this. This was this weekend. Tell me how you feel. Did you understand what he was saying? Was it a total screw up? Did he flub? Are people misunderstanding what he said? But this is him. This is Cuomo on diversity over the weekend on MSNBC.
Our diversity is our strength, but it can also be a weakness.
Governor, I want to make sure and give you a chance to correct the record if you didn't mean to say, but it sounded like you said diversity can also be a weakness. What did you mean by that?
Diversity can be a weakness if you have antipathy among groups, Jonathan. If you have racism or anti-Semitism, etc. Then you'd have friction, right? Which we have had in New York. And so you have to work very hard to keep it as a positive and to make sure that it's not a negative and you have zero tolerance for any racism, any anti-Semitism, etc.
Yeah, that was Eugene Daniels, by the way.
That was a train wreck.
Yeah, that was painful.
Is it?
This whole thing with like dominant victimhood, that if there's all this diversity, then maybe the old, white Italian guy is being hated on. I mean, I'm assuming, I can't get into his mind, but I'm assuming that that's what he means. That, damn it, this freaking Muslim guy's whooping my ass. This is not fair. And this Muslim guy, he's bringing in more hatred. Really? And then he did an interview with Hot 97 where he reportedly hung up when they were grilling him on calling Mamdani, saying that he's anti-Jewish. I mean, listen, this is terrible. This is god awful. He has ruined his political career. But this is what they have. He's relying on otherism. He hopes what they do in other states will work for him. And, Trump sells his hate well. I don't know if Cuomo's doing that.
He's also doing like a terrible job at it. And it's just, I don't know that I've seen a sadder campaign than Andrew Cuomo's. And I've had 3 opportunities to work with Andrew Cuomo in my career, and I've turned him down all 3 times. And I feel really vindicated by that decision, because I always thought he was a bit of a sleaze. And now you find out he's really not that even good at it, right? Like, all he was really good at was getting a lot of big donors to give him cash so that he could prop up his campaigns, and it worked statewide. And if he hadn't been a serial sexual predator and a creep, he probably would have gone down as one of the leaders of the Democratic Party right now in the second Trump term, but he couldn't help himself. And now he's running a sad mayoral campaign where he's barely campaigned. He hasn't offered a single policy solution that I've seen. It's just all attacking Zoran and hating on him because of his skin color and these weird, you got the weird AI ad playing right now. Like, I think that was pathetic. My favorite thing that he did is right after he announced that he was running in the general on the other party line was this ridiculous ad of him fixing a car in a way that like no human being would ever act in a video like that. And it was this like Mamdani light bullshit. So I think you've got a perfect case study for the Democratic Party on how to do it from Mamdani. And again, you can feel however you want about his politics, but from a campaign perspective, it's been a flawless, brilliant campaign, in my opinion. And then how not to do it from Cuomo. So it's rare to have them both. And I sort of agree with whoever said it earlier. I think there's a chance Cuomo finishes in third, which I think would be the funniest possible outcome tonight.
Oof. All right. Here's Mamdani. Ooh, wow. That would sting. Here's Mamdani on Morning Joe.
James Carville was here.
Okay.
And he's been a little bit more of, I think he would call himself a centrist.
Okay.
He said Zohran Mamdani is more on message than any candidate he's ever worked with. And he said
that wasn't this morning. Do we have this morning on Morning Joe?
That's a positive trait.
Kind of.
No, we can look for that one.
Okay, go ahead and play this one then. Sorry.
So here's the test.
Oh, God.
How quickly can you go from this topic back to affordability?
Okay.
Halloween.
Here's the thing. You're seeing candy prices shoot up across New York City. And it's part of the fact that we're the most expensive city in the United States of America. We got to take a look at that.
The movie Godfather.
You know, there are too many people who think that the only way they could afford to live in New York City is if their father already lived here. And the fact of the matter is you should be able to afford your own apartment and not just have to pray to God to get there.
Incredible.
Right?
You got there.
That's where I
Lightning
that one
round
wasn't it.
is
I like the first one.
in a word or a sentence. But it's your mic. If you go longer, you go longer.
Okay,
You're a
here we
candidate.
go.
In a word or a sentence, I am a democratic socialist because
I believe in the dignity of all people.
I am the Democratic nominee for New York because
I beat Andrew Cuomo by 13 points.
a reason conservatives are welcome in your Democratic Party is
they also have to pay rent.
Something Democrats are right about.
That we have to take on an authoritarian administration in Washington, D.C.
All right, that's good. But the only answer that I didn't like the Godfather one because I could have. There's so many, but he didn't want to go the Italian route.
No, but it's right there to go look. When I was a kid, you used to be able to go to the movies for like $5 a pop. Now it costs you $20 and another $20 to buy a soda.
Yeah, and
right
look,
there.
I'm pointing out the thing that I didn't like. I thought it was great, and then the first thing that he said about candy was what I thought when I went to, because I live in a building, and they said everyone in the building, you should contribute to the large bowl that's in the basement, right? I mean, in the lobby. And I said, okay. And so I run off to the CVS to go get the candy, and I'm like, a bag of candy is $25. Like, are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous.
I mean,
it's crazy this year.
It's crazy. So he's right on the affordability.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait, do you have anything cheaper? No, there's nothing cheaper.
Can I also point this out? Because I saw the comedian Stavros a couple months ago, and he said that everything is more expensive, but also shittier. Also that a handful of billionaires can seem miserable in public. And every bit of candy I had on Halloween, I took my son around, tasted like garbage. Like it was not what I remembered it as a kid. I feel like they're just making this stuff more cheap.
Chocolate is more expensive, so they're just putting shit in candy now. Is what they're doing.
It's awful.
All right, Morning
I'd rather
Joe.
eat an apple at this point.
Yeah, well, apples are good, man. Let me tell you.
I love a Honeycrisp apple. All right?
That's it. Look,
don't hand them out at Halloween. That's creepy. Do not be that person. Remember when there would be that lady on the street who gave you the fruit and the
toothbrush and a little thing of toothpaste.
Be that fucking person. Don't do that.
Let me tell you, don't start your dogs for treats on Honeycrisp apples, because I did, and they're bougie. Now that's the only thing they'll eat, and those Honeycrisp apples are expensive. And so that's my midday snack, and they see me and they're like, "Oh, okay, Dad, here's whatever."
With a little bit of peanut butter right at 11 o'clock. That's what I do every day.
Oh no, I do. I'm weird. I do mine with balsamic vinegar and salt, sea salt.
That sounds good.
That's delish. Okay, Mamdani on Morning Joe.
We're supposed to do is to empower those around them to deliver on the agenda that they ran on. I'm looking forward to being that.
So any statements or any defunding the police, you obviously don't believe that anymore, right?
Yes, I've said that very clearly.
Said that time and again, right?
That we're not.
Anything to clarify. I mean, I'm not saying you said or did it, but clarify or say maybe I've learned how to be more careful.
By the way, we do this to Rev every time he's on the show, and then Rev will do it to me.
Right.
And we're both apologizing for things we said years.
No, I think I've said that the tweets that I wrote in 2020 around defunding the police, that's not the position that I hold. And I'm running for mayor to deliver public safety in partnership with the police department.
Right.
And there's also language that I've used in those same tweets, which I've apologized for to police officers directly.
Okay, it's been a very interesting campaign.
It has.
Closing argument, 30 seconds, go.
Look, if you are happy with the Donald Trump agenda, if you want to see more of Stephen Miller's immigration agenda, if you think that it's right that the richest man in the world is dominating our democracy to the benefit of himself, then by all means, vote for Andrew Cuomo, because those are the men who have endorsed Andrew Cuomo. If you are tired of rent hikes, tired of waiting for buses that never come, tired of thinking of democracy only as an ideal and not something that can deliver on the needs of working people, then this is the campaign for you.
And scene.
Okay. What do you think? That's reality. The reality is that he's probably more than likely going to be the mayor, elected mayor of New York City. He's going to face headwinds here. And look, I hope that people are open to him, but there's going to be, you know, the old guys are like, you said defund the police, whatever. What's the reality for him? Anybody want to weigh? Because we don't know whose policies. People are saying, I don't know if his policies are going to work. You didn't know if Donald Trump's policies were going to work. What candidate do you know if their policies are going to work? However, he is a democratic socialist, so that adds a new, level of difficulty to the process.
Well, can I frame it this way? I think he's got two paths from here. He can either go the Brandon Johnson route in Chicago, or he can go more Michelle Wu in Boston. If we're just going to sort of be reductive about it, which is that both came in with a lot of big ideas. Both ran as progressives. Brandon Johnson, I believe, is a democratic socialist. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows. I should know. It's my own city, frankly. But the thing about Johnson is a poor leader. He's bad at bringing people together. He has ideas that some of which are good, but he can't seem to make any progress on any of them. And so the city has sort of felt like it's been in a state of either decay or stalling on everything, and people are really frustrated, and he's wildly unpopular. Meanwhile, you have someone like Michelle Wu in Boston who's been able to bring people together. She's getting reelected in a massive number today. I mean, she's so popular, like her Republican opponents stopped campaigning in the general election, was just like, forget it. I'm not even going to bother and waste my time. So I think there's just two different paths. If Zoran takes the energy and enthusiasm that is around him and works within the confines of the system that exists, with the city council and other local elected leaders, works with the governor, he's going to be able to make some real progress there. But I think if he comes in and tries to do everything that he wants to do immediately and hits a lot of brick walls, he's going to fail, and he's going to end up like Johnson, and people are going to be frustrated.
Yeah, Johnson is a progressive Democrat. He doesn't identify as
My apologies.
A democratic socialist.
I should know better.
Clay.
Listen, one thing I'm excited about is the Democratic socialists in New York City are very critical. They're very critical. They have these grand ideas, and they're very critical of other Democrats in New York. So if he wins, and it appears that he will, I'm excited to see, now that you've talked that talk and you said things when you were in the state assembly, now can you execute all of that? Now, it's easy to say those things when you aren't the mayor, but when you're actually the mayor, can you execute these things? I think he's going to get pushed back from the Democratic socialists, because if you're the mayor of New York, guess what? You got to compromise. I know folks don't want to hear that might be blasphemy. You got to compromise. You can't get everything done. And the Democratic socialists, they also have a record of finger waving at Black communities sometimes. They don't always resonate that well with Black communities. So I'm curious to see, with all the critiques I've heard from them, and there's some parts of it that I agree with, that now can you get something done? You talk all that talk, can you get something done? And I want to say quickly, I interviewed him last week, and my audience with Defund the Police, they feel a little bit different. They feel that the NYPD does not need an $11 billion budget, and Defund the Police has been mangled in a way from Republicans. So I know people that agree with him 5 years ago, and so it is kind of curious that he flipped, and it appears that he did that because he wants to win. Fair enough, but just the insight that that's what establishment Democrats do. They change their position a few years later when they want to win. A lot of folks in my community in New York, they feel like $11 billion is too much. And they feel like the NYPD has a racist history. And we were saying that before 2020.
Clay, tell us about Burn Down Master's House.
Burn Down Master's House, you can pre-order it now. It comes out January 27th. It's about enslaved people who rose up against slavery. Historical fiction based on real people. It is literal fire. And in this moment, it shows you what resistance looks like. So pre-order it now, y'all. It's going to be fire, literally. I ain't playing.
Burn Down Master's House. You said it comes out January
27th. You can pre-order it now wherever books are sold. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Clay. Get out of here, buddy. I'll see you later. Go get ready for your show. Sirius XM, Urban View, correct?
Yes, sir. Channel 126. Appreciate y'all.
126. Thank you. Thank you.
Get a drink for election night.
Congrats
You
on your
guys
book,
ready?
Clay. That's awesome.
You guys are ready. Thank you, Clay. We'll see you later. You guys are ready for election night, I would imagine. Jim, I'm going to head off to a polling place. Are you going to head off to a polling place? Mike, are you going to a polling place? What are you doing? Are you just here to?
Well, no, I'm here to argue with Jesse Waters tonight about Zoran Mondani.
Oh well, good luck with
Oh,
that.
Jesus.
We'll see how it goes.
Jim.
Try not to embarrass myself.
Via con Dios there. I mean, Jesse, geez Louise, man.
Yeah.
Hey, deep down, he loves me. I don't know why.
I know. I
These
think that's what it
conservatives love
is.
me.
He talks about me on his show, and I'm like, dude, it's not happening. This is not happening. It's just,
Have him on your
take a
show.
cold
Though.
shower.
He'll
What's
be
that?
a lot. Have him on your show. He'll be a lot chiller on
Oh my
Substack.
God, Jim,
Something
don't
tells
do
me.
that.
But no, I was going to go and talk to some voters in Virginia, Don. And one of the reasons why, and it kind of ties back to what Clay was saying a few moments ago, I kind of want to hear what Latino voters are saying a little bit right now. You know, there are a lot of Latino voters who sort of experimented with the with Trump.
I will vote for Donald Trump.
I know, and I mean, what is happening right now is, Trump it's World War III against Latino people in this country right now.
Yeah.
And, Trump on 60 Minutes the other night is saying the tactics haven't gone far enough. Are you kidding me? They haven't gone far enough. And so I'm kind of wondering, in Northern Virginia, they might be pretty Democratic as it is. So we'll see what they have to say. But I think this is a huge turning point potentially for Democrats heading into the midterm elections, because you have a generational thing happening right now. The Mamdani wave that's taking place in New York, I think, is a generational thing where you have a lot of young voters who are excited about Mamdani and excited about voting against Donald Trump. I think you have a lot of Latino voters in this country who want to do the same thing. And do they feel intimidated going to the polls? Do they feel safe going to the polls? I mean, those are questions that I have. But there are a lot of Latino voters in this country who just feel like they've gotten a complete raw deal. And people can say, oh, well, you got what you voted for, blah, blah, blah. But these are human beings. And what we're seeing right now, Don, I see your clips every night when you repost these ICE videos and so on. What is happening in this country right now is so inhumane. It is so un-American, what is taking place, that I hope that we see some serious courage coming out of the Latino community, where they just put it on the line, show up and vote in these elections to send a message, because a message needs to be sent, that the war against Latino people in this country needs to stop.
Yeah. Jim, I agree. Jim, good luck out there today. You're live on Substack every day. What time?
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. And then we'll play it later on YouTube too. But yeah.
Yeah, and then it's later on YouTube. So Jim Acosta Show on Substack Live, and then on YouTube as well. It airs there, or it streams there as well. Thank you, Jim.
Good to see
Mike
you.
Nellis, I'm going to see you tomorrow on Substack, right? You want to see me in person, but I don't know if you.
I figured I was here. We could argue in person. But
any final
tipped
words?
me when you were in Chicago. You were too busy shooting videos downtown. You didn't even send me a text.
I know. And then when you hop on, look, you could at least freshen your bed. I see you're in a hotel room there, buddy. I mean,
Yeah, well, that's a bad, I'm kind of trying to cover it with, that's why I put the vest on for an extra layer so you couldn't see the edge of the bed.
We
You
appreciate
asked
you
me
joining.
to join like 15 minutes before I came on.
No, I asked you about
Or like an
45
hour, yeah.
minutes, an hour.
I was still laying
Right.
in bed half asleep, to be honest with you.
Oh boy. Thank you, Mike Nellis.
Thank you,
We'll
Don.
see you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. I appreciate it. Mike
You're
Nellis
welcome.
on Substack. We'll see him tomorrow on Substack. Okay, so I'm going to get a word from our sponsors. I have much more to say. Support comes from Lean. Look, we've all tried those quick fix diets, right? Lose 10 pounds, gain 15 back. Doctors call it weight cycling, and it can actually raise your risk of heart problems and diabetes. That's why I tried Lean. It's a non-prescription oral supplement created by doctors to help you lose weight safely and keep it off. Works in 3 ways: controls appetite, it stabilizes blood sugar, and it helps your body burn fat for energy. It's not an injection. It's not a fad. It's real science. And I've noticed a steadier energy level throughout the day since I started taking it. So here's what you do. You go to takelean.com and use the code LEMON for 20% off. That's TAKELEAN.com and use the code LEMON. Thanks to our sponsors. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Okay, back to the program, because we have a couple more things that we want to play here. And we had some great guests. They had got to go, heading to a polling place. I'm going to head to a polling place. I want to play something that I thought was very interesting. And that is, one, show you something. We were talking about Mamdani, and this is Ted Cruz, what he's tweeting about Mamdani and what people are saying about Mamdani. But Ted Cruz just sort of went to the bottom of the thing. His tweet, I guess he's basically calling him, well, not basically, he's saying an actual communist jihadist, a literal Karl Marx quoting America hating jihadist. This seems like an easy one, New York City. Wow. And they wonder about the racism in the Republican Party. I mean, it's really unbelievable how Republicans are out of touch. Now, I'm told that this moment that I need to play on CNN, it is between David Hogg and Scott Jennings regarding affordability.
He's probably going to win. I mean, it's a Democrat town, and they're going to elect a socialist to run the financial capital of the world. I mean, you gave him $300 grand. That's interesting. That's probably the only 300 non-Islamo-Marxist grand that he got. I saw Linda Sarsour today bragging about all the money that's coming from all over the world. And so
for their elections in New York.
Look.
And honestly, I think part of the reason he's so powerful is because people are tired of being lectured by men with Rolexes on CNN about affordability in this country. That's the real reason he is resonating right now.
Oh, what happened to again, I don't watch. This is the first long clip I think I've seen of that show. What happened to Scott Jennings? Is he just performing now? Saying the most incendiary things just to piss people off? It's really weird. Hey, but David Hogg, that was a nice comeback, man. Anyways, yeah. That's why when what's his name was saying, bring Jesse Waters on your show for what? Why would you even bring someone like that on your show? I'm not sure why Scott Jennings is. I used to know why he's there. I don't know why he's there anymore. It's really, really bizarre. Really bizarre. What is going on? Not a good look. People are smarter than that. Don't turn. Well, I've already turned off their core audience. They've gone away in droves. Okay. I think we're done. Here. We don't have any picks or anything, do we? Do you have anything else, producers, that we need, except to tell people to go vote?
I believe that's it. But yeah, that last part is an important one.
Yeah, go vote. Fairfax, Virginia. Get out there. Get out there, North Carolina. Get out there, New Jersey and New York. Where should I go? I'm hearing, Pokemon go to the polls. Do we have a Pokemon go to the polls? Let's see it.
I think Peter's just saying that.
Oh, Pokemon go to the polls. I thought we had signs.
Peter promoting his Halloween costume.
Peter, was that your Halloween costume?
That was my Halloween costume. Pokemon go.
Do you have pictures?
Yes, I do. I can send it. 1 second.
Pokemon go to the polls. Nikki, who are you?
I was Pearl from the X movies.
Andy?
I did not dress up.
You dressed up as Don Lemon. You don't want to tell me, didn't you?
He's embarrassed.
You got me.
All you did was a black t-shirt and merch, and you just Don Lemon and Lemon Show merch everywhere.
Yeah, I went and interviewed people on the street.
You didn't put on bronzer, did you?
Oh, Lord.
No, Peter. Oh, my gosh. Peter.
What? I'm a nerd.
Such a nerd. You look like you. Okay. Can I tell you what you look like in that outfit?
What do I look like?
Okay, hold on. I got to put it up. Andy, I'm going to send it to you. Okay, hold on 1 second. Andy, just find me. Oh, this one is good. I don't know if you can grab this. Let me see. How do I do this? Which one do I want here? The old folks will know what I'm talking about, but I can't, for some reason, I can't get it to come up. Let's see if I got it. Come on. Ah, that sucks. I don't know, Andy, if you can get this picture, but that's not a good one. Do you guys remember Speed Racer?
Yes.
Like the old original Speed Racer from the 1970s?
Mm-hmm.
You remember? That's what you look like in that outfit.
I see it. I see it.
Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer. Go. That was the theme song. Anyways, that's what you look like in that outfit. It's cool.
Thank you.
And how was it received?
I had to explain it to most people, but as soon as I told them, they loved it.
Is that Charlie's Angels?
No, that's a Kamala shirt. I had a bunch of Kamala and Mondani.
Oh, got it. I guess. All right. If you have to explain it, what's the Fox lady's name that went as Jackie? Did you guys see that one?
No.
The lady who went as Jackie Kennedy in the bloody.
Oh, Julia Fox.
Suit.
That was Julia Fox.
What?
Yeah.
Controversial.
What the hell was that? Come on.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, guys. Be informed without being inundated. We're going to see you back here at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Let me know. Should I go to the polls? Is it worth it? I don't know. Don, don't be mean. I'm not being mean. I'm having fun with Peter. Nikki, why didn't you send us a picture of your outfit?
Because I didn't take any.
All right. Okay, guys. Be informed without being inundated until I see you back here at 5 p.m. Eastern time here on the Don Lemon Show, the Don Lemon channel. We're going to go out, talk to some people at the polls. I would imagine midday, maybe they'll have calmed down a little bit. Also, we should probably go talk to some people because the polls aren't the only places where there are lines. There are people who are in lines at food banks and food distribution centers all over the country because Republicans, MAGA, Donald Trump, they don't want to give people the benefits that they need to be able to feed their families. So they're keeping the government shut down. So I think some people, the judge ordered them, some people are going to get theirs, but people are still hungry. So be informed without being inundated until I see you back here at 5 p.m. Eastern time here on the Don Lemon Show and the Don Lemon channel. Turn the TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.